Yeah. Yeah, man. And remember that other time? Nah, I mean, I can't really say I do. Uh, but that's the beauty, right? Memories are what they are. Unfortunately, I don't really have any. So I'm going into under the knife to get this little part of my brain removed. No, I wouldn't say removed. Don't think of it that way. Uh, I mean, yes, there's a scar area so big, pretty tiny. Say about this big. I don't know. That's not accurate. But all the scans, it's about that big. But nowadays, back in the day, yes, I would have been shaved, huge lacerations, skin peeled back. But now, um, again, when I went in for my other test, right, there was 13 holes put into my head, microscopic, laser, and then a camera, right? And I got to keep all my hair. So that's where the technology is at. So this is basically lasers, radar, and reverberation. So, again, I've been in enough tests, been doing it enough years, where they have, I mean, they know as best as they will ever say they know, is coming from right here. I mean, a very specific area. That's why you go through all the MRIs, blah, blah, blah. But Penn being, holy Christ, being at the forefront, and they're not paying me to say this, they have technology and equipment. Wow. Right. So in one way, it's kind of scary. They're like, hey, we have the best of the best of the newest of the newest. You're like, yeah, I'm not I mean, is it cool that you have the newest? I would like it to be, as we all know with our technology, how many times you got to update your phone and all. I don't know if I want the newest. I'd like you to at least have worked with it for a year or two, right? But and I'm one of the lucky few. Uh, so University of Penn has just built this whole giant, new, beautiful brown facility, right? So as an artist, I appreciate the aesthetic. Because Penn is old as hell, so it's a very brown, very and as any architecture knows, anything with any kind of curve is really tough. That's you just showing off. Uh, and wow, so yeah, so it's all very beautiful, right? And then the new stuff comes. It's obviously a very square, glass, ugly. And then shout out to Katie Callahan. I don't know what she has to do with it, but I just found out. So the thing they've been building for 5 years, which is pretty much a neurology center, is gorgeous and it's curved. Like it's pretty much this. For those that don't live in Philadelphia, uh, it's basically like this. Some sort of pavilion, and then the end is just rounded. Again, anybody in architecture knows that's a pain in the ass, but it's also brown and matches the old, uh, however old his pen is, whatever it is. So either way, unbelievable facility, gorgeous. Katie Callahan again. Uh, I'm straying from the subject. Yes. So yeah. So when I was in for my EMU and all the other stuff, it was in the old place, and that just happened Halloween. They just moved into this new place. Yeah. So I get to go in the new place. So everything's brand new. I mean, everything. They didn't bring one thing over from the other place. So again, you're like, I mean, that's cool, but I kind of, we've all had cubicles, right? When you first get in there versus when you're in there for 5 years, you got your flow, you got your little decorations, you got your calendar, you're in your zone, you're in the matrix. All that's brand new. So it's kind of a trip to think, you're one of the first ones to have brain surgery in this brand new facility. So all the surgeons, everybody, as much as I trust them all, I love them all. It's all new stuff. So that's something to think about. But there was a point. There was a specific point to this. What's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. What's going on there? I know, man. It's a lot. Uh, yeah, so brain surgery. It's the most it's the most nebulous thing you can think of. Like when you hear like, oh, people had heart surgery, you kind of get it. Any other kind of surgery, bone surgery, lung surgery. And then like when you hear brain surgery, right? Every single person I mentioned it to, they're just like their face is immediately like, ooh, that's that's kind of the main John there, huh? That kind of runs it all, doesn't it? Oof. Yeah, right. Uh, and you're gonna trust a stranger to go poking around in there, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. Of course, there's some few pessimistic family members. They're like, did you do your research? You sure you want to do this? Blah 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 blah. You're like, look, the pun intended is if I can get a piece of my mind removed for a peace of mind of not having seizures again, I'm still working on that line, by the way. But yeah, technically, it's all this is for a peace of mind, right? So after the surgery, I just assume 98% that it worked. So I just live my life like I'm not going to have a seizure again. I don't dwell on it. I don't do anything. I take all of the necessary things and precautions, but I just basically like now. That's the shitty part about seizures. It's the randomest thing in the world. So you have to live your entire life just ignoring this little black demon that could show up at any time. Just and then take over everything. So hopefully this gets rid of that. I won't have to deal with that devil, but I'll only know if I have another one, right? You know what I mean? So you go in, you go through all this for the peace of mind that you're just not going to have another one. And again, so then you just, after the 6 week recovery, yeah, yeah, that's it. Hey, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. So this is another thing I just figured out. My cat is very dramatic and very demanding. She's not going to understand why I'm not going to be playing with her all day. This is her climbing on everything I own. She's not going to understand why I'm not playing with her all the time. That's going to be another thing. Either way, yeah. So the whole point is, but yeah, I'm glad you called. So yeah, yeah, man. So no, I do feel good. Uh, I can't wait to just have this over with. Again, whether I have another seizure again down the road, that's another thing. But scheduling surgery and thinking about surgery and possibly having it just takes a long time. I mean, Jesus. I mean, you figure the last time we talked, uh, uh, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly right. So it was right about the time um, I was lucky enough to have it proposed to me that I'm able to have it. I'm eligible. The word eligible. Yeah. So it's like, holy shit! Wait, wait. I'm eligible. Nice. And then the insurance factor worked out. I'm like, holy shit! Wait, this is a real possibility. They're like, yeah, yeah. And then you sit there and you're like, wow. They're like, do you want to do it? And you're like, and that's where the whole peace of mind comes in. You're like, do I want to do it? You're like, fuck yeah, man. Especially because I kind of have the small uh, radar version, not the giant cut open. I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, again, so you think it this way: there's 100% chance of it not working if you don't do it, and then I'll continue to have seizures. Or there's a 60% chance it works, and then there's another 55% chance it works, but you might still have a seizure. So then there's a 5% chance that it's a little better than it was, I guess, whatever. Anything's better than this, just like playing the lottery, right? if you don't buy the ticket, you ain't gonna win shit. So I don't like my seizures. I trust the University of Penn. So all the pessimists out there that say it's not worth it, because I don't have that many seizures. Again, the one guy I talked to, Jeff, if you look on my channel, he had like hundreds of seizures a year. Um, you know what I mean? So his was more like, yeah, it wasn't really an option. Fuck, you're like, I only have like four a year, 4 to 5. You know what I mean? So it's enough to where I can't drive because you have to go 6 months seizure fee. So it's enough to be a real thing, but it's not like fucking that. So yeah, so he had hundreds a year, got the implant, but again, he had the big metal thing in his head. So he had cut open, basically something like this, maybe smaller, put onto his brain, and then when so this is like a seizure recovery thing. So when you have seizures, you get an aura. Uh, an aura is like, you get the days where you're like, oh shit, and you can tell it's coming by now, right? Like you know yourself well enough. Um, so again, when you get that feeling, you use this, and that's supposed to prevent you. With this guy Jeff, I forget what the procedure's called, but he has a metal thing like in his head that when he has that same thing, he has like this keychain where he presses it and it sends it like an electrode and stops it. Right? Yeah, exactly. Holy majesus. Uh, and he's completely fine. Like you talk to him, you wouldn't know any of it, right? So that's the whole thing, the stigma and all this shit about brain surgery. You think you're gonna be an invalid, all this drool on yourself. Uh, I'm only getting this tiny thing where I don't even have to shave my head, and it's just radar, lasers, and like it sounds like almost like they're just pulverizing it into like a gallstone kind of. You know what I mean? Like they're not cutting out a slit of my skull and pulling the piece out, as far as I understand. They have a really, really, really good idea where it is from all the tests and all the other imagery. And then as far as I understand it, it's just sonic vibrations that are just going to shatter it to non-existence. Either way, uh, right? You know what I mean? Well, this motherfucker's got a thing in his head. So and he talks completely fine. You wouldn't know any of that happened, right? So thank you, Jeff. That put a lot of my uh, fears to rest about my recovery and how what my personality is like after. I'm a creative person. Am I going to be less creative? Am I going to be less raw? All that stuff. So if he can go through something that intense and be more or less the same dude, I feel a little better. Uh, but again, the whole thing, I told anybody this whole time, I don't mind any of it. I trust everything except obviously an accident. Right? You can't help if somebody sneezes and they're doing their thing, perfect sneeze, and then I can't talk. Or all of a sudden, or all of a sudden I know Mandarin Chinese. Again, it's your brain, right? So, but luckily I'm not a stick in the mud. I've always liked my psychedelics. I've always liked my random adventures. I was like throwing caution to the wind and just hitchhiking, stuff like that. So I feel like I'm probably really, really, really well prepared for whatever's coming. Again, other than a month now in recovery, stuck with this crazy cat that's going to want me to play with it. And I live on the third floor. Yeah, no, third floor of a huge apartment place. So yeah, no, I know. I'm gonna be spending a lot. See, that's the thing. So even if I spend money on delivery, right? They say you can't lift a gallon of water. It's like, okay, um, so that's like a good gauge, you know. I'm gonna be wanting to get out of the house. So I plan on just like basically shopping a lot, like small batches a lot. But then for things I can't carry and I'm gonna need delivered because I can't carry them to the store, I still need to carry up a lot of steps. So that's the thing I don't really get yet. Uh, Again, I got my huge box of kitty litter that should last a month, so I won't have to deal with that. You know, you just got to think in different ways that you wouldn't normally think. Um, you know, like today, I bought a ton of I know, sorry for the environment. I just bought a lot of Lysol wipes, and I wipe down every single thing I touch. Like, I mean, we're talking like the cranius of the cranius of the cranius. Because uh, again, you have brain surgery. You know, like I don't think about cleaning, like the filth buildup. You know, but I'm not going to be moving much. So how much filth is there to gain? Who the fuck understands this shit? So basically, my precaution is the last 2 days of just scrubbing and cleaning everything, uh, vacuuming and everything, taking my blankets to the dry cleaner. Uh, yeah, doing all my laundry, you know, just shit like that. So we'll see. But yeah, no, man. Again, I'm glad you called. Appreciate it. Uh, what's up? Oh, entertainment? Yeah, God only knows. Uh, yeah, again, you know, luckily I'm an artist, so I'm interested to see where that goes. Because being creative, you got to being creative is what literally 100% using your mind. So when they tell me to take it easy, you know, again, the doctors are very good at saying, "Oh, everybody's different. Take it easy. Just relax. Just for like, what does that mean, though? Like, I understand what that means physically. Like, I don't want me straining myself, but am I going to be able to paint, like, not just like paint in the numbers? Am I going to be able to like create, like, you know what I mean? Like, think, oh, a new, you know, like anything, you know? Or am I going to be, uh, again, that's going to be my wildest part. Uh, the urge to do what versus what I can do, you know? Clearly, you know, your precautions, they say 4 weeks recovery, but I'm gonna have to walk around, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna be have to walk around for 4 weeks. Like, you know, at some point I'm gonna have to take daily walks, all that good stuff. But that's like a quick thing, right? Like how, you know, am I gonna be able to get into like planning a masterpiece and painting? Like that's a whole nother level that I don't know yet. Uh, but I'm pumped. As far as I understand it, I'm totally prepared. I got options. Uh, you know, again, I have my art options kind of set up nebulously, so it can go this way, this way. I feel like the computer is going to be a lot harder uh, than you guys. Um, Music, who the fuck knows? So yeah, we'll see. It's wild as hell. Uh, yeah. So how do we keep the people entertained? Like, how do we keep them in here? I know I'm rambling. It's been 20 minutes, but this is the last night I'll be on substances for a while. I'm not sober right now. And I will admit, when the bartender asked me how I was doing after my third round, I said, I mentioned the brain surgery. So I got a free round. I mean, if you're at a bar and you're about to get brain surgery where you can't drink for, God only knows, at least 3 months, 4 months, whatever, you got to mention you're getting brain surgery, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a neighborhood bar. I mean, let's put it this way, I set up a GoFundMe. I'm freaking out that much, you know what I mean? I live alone. I can't work at all or do anything for 6 weeks, so I set up a GoFundMe. I don't I know, dude, I'm not that's the hardest part. I'm not asking you for money, but I kinda am, but I'm more or less like, for all I know, you have aunts and you know what I mean? Like, you just know, like, people with money that are just charitable, uh, regardless if they know me or my situation. So, it's not like of course, that's the first thing. You have to, like, send out emails or Facebook things to, like, your people, but $5 really goes a long way. Uh, so it's not like me sending out to you my GoFundMe. It's more like you're like, "Hey, you put it on your page." Who the fuck knows? Your CEO might be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, that sounds horrible." Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was something not that you wanna do, but I'm glad that there's an option because sitting around for a month, not making any income at all, and not being able to even think about income is just weird. Everything about it's weird. Whatever. I digress. If you can, GoFundMe, McClept. Um, yeah, man. Anyone that's going to have brain surgery soon, yeah, who knows, man? I don't even know what to say. I have no advice. I haven't gone yet, but leading up to it, it's hard to think about anything else. That's for sure. Uh, oh, but side note from that. So, my time frame, uh, real quick, and then I guess this will be the end. I was going to go for, I guess, 30 minutes. We'll go 30 minutes, or else we'll go forever. Uh, and I hope my mic's on. Shit. I hope you people can hear all this. I didn't even check. Ha! I hope you can. Um, yeah, now I'm really lost. But 22. So I got hmm, 6 minutes to reel it in. The fuck was the last thing I was saying? Bear with me. Bear with me, people. It was so close. So anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a trip. Uh, my cat's gonna be a absolute mess because I mean, we have a good time. That's what I mean. She's used to a high level of interaction and entertainment. We're talking like running. I mean, this is a big apartment with cathedral ceilings and shit. I mean, you can't tell back there, but no, I mean, she jumps on shelves that are like 8 feet tall and all. Yeah, and we're together 24/7. I know, girl. There she is, right there, already on her back, ready to go. Yeah, right. Say hi, everybody. What's up, girl? That's Casey, everybody. There she is. Yes, I love her now, but she is gonna be a pain, ain't you? What she do? But thank God. Thank God she's here, right? Um, so a quick Gacy story, and maybe the other part will come back. If not, this will be the end. So this is the feline known as Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, you say? That is correct. Serial killer. Again, she's a calico, right? So she followed me and my wife home from a party. She was on the top of a car, like the very top, not the hood, but the roof. We come out of a party around Halloween, turn the corner, boom, boom, right on the street. Jumps down from the car immediately. Yeah. And it's like 10 long blocks, you know? So we're like, "Oh, no shit," so we just start walking, and she just starts going from car to car underneath, and we're like, "Oh, no shit." We're like, "Alright, no, that's adorable." We're like, "Alright, well, we won't force it. We'll just, see what's up." So we just kept walking, not fast or slow, and she kept going, car to car. Every once in a while, we thought we lost her because she would take a while. We're like, "Shit, I don't see her." And then she'd go, "Vroom, vroom," car to car. Uh, and then the moment of truth, we get to this. I live right on the other side of this really like 4-lane, not a highway, but no lights or anything, all stop signs, but really wide, and cars always either direction. Uh, so we get to the end. I look at her. She looks at me. I bend down, pick her up. She lets me pick her up. Walk across the street. I have a porch. Put her on the porch. She looks like on the porch. Open the door. She just looks at the street one more time. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Jim? She just looks at the street one more time. All the cars. And I swear, she's like, "This is it." Looks back. Walks in the house. Boom. Yeah, there you is. And then, so again, then, you get her. We put out lost cat signs and all. 'Cause we still can't tell. She doesn't seem 100%. This was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. She was small, seemed domesticated-ish. You know what I mean? Like didn't seem like 100% street cat, but didn't seem like we don't know if she's fixed, but she doesn't seem like she's in heat. That kind of stuff. Uh, yeah, she chose us, and she's been having a great time ever since. But I feel like she's gonna. I mean, no, no, dude, trust me, you can totally take her and babysit. That's what I'm saying. I feel like she's gonna be. I feel like she's gonna be a good gauge of my recovery. Because again, I don't understand what they mean really. You know, like can't lift a gallon of water. That's like the barometer. I get it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, am I gonna like eat soup like this? Am I gonna like? I don't fucking really get it. But I'm excited to have it done. Just veg out. I mean, speaking of veg out, right? You couldn't pick a better time of the world. Like the whole world's vegging out because of Omicron. You know what I mean? This would be. I feel like this would be a lot different if I wasn't an unemployed or slash at home freelance artist. So if I wasn't already used to being at home, being an artist, and if the world wasn't already, you know, at home because of COVID for 2 years, I feel like this would be a very different experience. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, like the fact that we can hang out is you're home from work. You can't go in because you're fucking stupid vaccine shit. Not, dude. I'm not saying I don't know if you're vaccinated. I don't care. I'm saying the vaccine or a teacher, all that shit. So yeah, so it couldn't happen at a better time. But at the same time, I'm also going at a hospital where there hasn't been this much of a contagious disease. I know it's a neurosurgery place, but still at the same time, you know what I mean? Like normally they go in the hospital, you're just in the hospital for whatever. Uh, you're not in the hospital thinking like every one of these people could be in contact with something that is globally affecting, you know what I mean? Is globally affecting the world and shit. It's wild. So the final minute. All right, so 29 minutes. So to get real here, yeah. So I'm going in and having brain surgery. My name is Daniel McCartney. Uh, I do certain things that I hope I can still do. Like I still want to see this guy. I hope I can still do this. Equally out of tune. If it's not in tune, I mean, come on. Who wants to be in tune? Thank you all. Hopefully this helps somebody. It helps me. Good night. I will be a different person next time. Whether, again, Obviously, I'm assuming success. I mean, I'm praying for success. But either way, after brain surgery, just like you break your arm, you're a different person. So later, thank you. Good night.